Okay, good. All right, so sitting up nice and tall and quiet. Glad you're here. Welcome. Let's just take a moment to settle into the current moment, anchoring ourselves in our body, in our whole self. And one possibility today would be to take the thumb and forefinger together and the palms either up or down, but in kind of like the OK shape. And this is sometimes called the mudra of consciousness. And we're creating a little circuit with our thumb and forefinger that represents, I always like to think of it as our wholeness and our wholeness with the rest of the universe. Just for a moment, focusing in on that possibility that you can be whole, that you actually are whole. And that you are interconnected with all of the universe. When you're ready, bringing the hands together at the heart. We'll bow to that light in ourselves, that light in all others. We'll let the hands come down and the eyes open if they were closed. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is something that we've been doing. We've done a couple times now, but we're going to do it again. We're going to hold for a little while some of these stretches for our upper neck and back. And I'm only putting my hands here just to give my neck a little love. So I'm just starting with just a little gentle massage from the base of the skull down. And what I'm thinking about is this muscle group right here. And I'm just very gently from behind the ear, kind of pulling downward. Just getting a little bit of blood flow in there. And then you can slide to the back of your neck and just kind of, this upper back area right here. Sorry, my hair's in the way, but kind of just gently pulling forward here. And I say gently because for some of us, we're really sensitive in this area, and going in too deeply, even if it's tight, can be firing. It can fire things up for us. So just sometimes less is more. So just gently, just bringing a little bit of blood flow here. And then this is your collarbone right here. And I'm going to ask you to make a peace sign and then take one finger on top and one below the collarbone, kind of right here where that sternal notch is. And then just gently press back and forth with your fingers above and below, one collarbone at a time. So there it is. Another area that tends to get really tight and closed down, right? So maybe sending the intention that this is a little bit of a gentle wake-up call. All right, let's go to the other side. And you know how when you're a teenager and you didn't want to get out of your bed, and your mom would say, time to get up, and it would be this gentle, lovely little thing, and then you didn't get out of your bed. And so the calls would get a little more insistent. So I want you to think about this as the gentle wake-up call, not the get out of bed now call. Good. And then right in the middle of the sternum here, let's just gently move up and down. Notice if this is a tender area. This is tender. So a lot of muscles come through here and kind of attach at the sternum here. So we can just kind of gently work these fibers as well. outward. Yeah. Good. Okay. And then one last little place, I've got my peace signs again, and I'm coming from the bottom of my chin, and I'm going to the top of the jawbone, like this, and then pulling down. There we go. And you can do both sides at once, really gently. And at the top, I like to, explore a little bit and then come back down. Oh, while we're on our face, why don't we go up and do forehead to temple? So I'm kind of sweeping from the middle out and then making a little exploratory pass around the temple. Yeah, just a couple of times up and out and down to the temple. There we go. All right. So, yep, I kind of came down to the sides of the throat, out the shoulders, and flipped it away. And just take a moment to feel the blood flowing through all those places that we gave the gentle wake-up call to. And then let's take the left hand across to the opposite side of the head. That's it. And then jut the chin forward and then slide the chin up and back. And then very gently draw the head to the side. So we're stretching this side of our neck. Do you feel that? And sometimes because this is tight, this shoulder wants to creep up. So if you want to hold on to the bottom of your chair, you could do that. And that will keep us in the stretch a little bit instead of getting out of it. And if you want to, you can close your eyes or you can just soften your gaze on the floor ahead of you. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. And notice the parts in your body that when you encounter tension here, maybe got tense. So for instance, the forehead or the jaw might have gotten tense. Can you invite them to soften? Where's the tongue in your mouth? Is it creating tension anywhere? Good. And now, right where we are, stay right where you are, but turn the chin up to the sky a little bit and maybe just kind of gaze upward. Notice how that changes this stretch. Okay, and now we're going to turn the chin to look down at the opposite knee, and we'll bring our elbow forward and let the hand slide to the back of the head, and then gently draw down so that it's like you're trying to smell your armpit. This is a nice thought for the start of our day. And here, noticing again the change to the stretch. What is your mental state in response to this stretch? If this is a hard thing, you might be getting irritable. You might find your mind wandering. Can you just bring it back into your physical experience, your feet on the ground, the breath moving through the heart space? All right, let's slide the hand to the front of the forehead and use it to gently lift the head. Now, that's tender for me in here. So maybe just give a little love again to the side of the neck here and the shoulder that we're working. Does anyone else get tight in there? Was that Easy thing for you or hard? Okay. Okay, let's explore the other side now. So, little wiggling. Chin forward, chin back, hand to the opposite side of the head. Gently let the head come down, maybe reach to the seat of the chair. All right, and let's look up to the sky. And we'll look down towards the opposite knee. Hand comes to the back of the head, elbow comes forward. And we'll sniff our armpit. All right, let's slide the hand to the front of the forehead and let the head come on up. Good, again, just give a little bit of love. A little bit of soothing. I hear you, neck, hear you, shoulder. All right, and then see if there's any other way that your body wants to move right now. Just kind of stretching out. All right, good. All right, so let's take the knees apart and bring the forearms down to the knees if that's possible. And relax the shoulders. And now walk your feet apart just a little bit more, exploring the limits of where your legs can come apart comfortably. And we're going to inhale and get nice and long. And exhale and draw the belly really strongly back towards the back of your ribs. So inhale, let the belly relax towards the chair a little. And exhale and really gently draw that navel back. So kind of really feel that work. And when you do this, you'll feel a slight cat-cow of the low back. So it'll get longer and then it will round a little bit. So we're just kind of getting a little bit of blood flow to the low back at the same time as we're stretching our inner thighs and our outer hips. Good, and then press your hands onto the thighs and slowly come up. There we go. Let's just take a moment here to let the blood flow equalize, because when the head's been below the heart, it can cause a little lightheadedness. So we'll just take a moment to bring this in. All right, then we'll walk the feet together. And let's make our way up to our feet. I'm going to switch my chair around just so you can see me more easily. But what we'll be doing is a side stretch that's kind of a variation of a child's pose. So I'm going to bend my knees and bring my hands to the seat of the chair. And then reach the left hand ahead of me and then across my body. All right, so would you join me in trying that? So reach the arm out and then across, and you feel stretched to your side body. That's what we're aiming for. So now let's really breathe into the side ribs and especially feeling the side ribs that we're stretching. So feel them expanding with each breath in and coming back to the midline with each breath out. Now you don't have to bend your knees deeply if your legs are getting tired. So just be mindful of that. They can bend or unbend as much as you like. All right, beautiful. Let's take that extended arm down to the seat of the chair and we'll reach the opposite arm forward and then across. Being mindful to take the shoulder down away from the ear. It likes to creep up when we bring the arm up overhead, but we're going to keep it down and relax, and we're going to feel that big stretch to the side body. Good, and release. Okay, good. And let's step up and out for just a moment. How'd that feel? Let's just see what that feels like in the body. Okay? Yeah, good. All right, so next thing we'll do is a variation of the gate pose. So this is the one where we take a leg up on the chair. And we want to be able to take this hip down in line with this opposite hip. So if you're really petite or you have shorter legs, for instance, you might not be able to do that. You might be hiked up here in order to reach. If that's the case, you could put your foot on something lower, like I've got this little rung on the back of my chair. So that would work, for instance. Okay, so a couple options. If you were at home and you had blocks, you could stack up your blocks. All right, so here it is. And we're opening up at the inner thigh again. So rather than falling in, we open this up and then we draw in the belly and lift up the heart. And here's a little side stretch. So I'm going to think about reaching this rib towards the knee. And I want to keep both sides of the side waist long. So versus doming this and collapsing this side. Okay, so just reach the side waist over. And maybe the hand is here, maybe the forearm is here, see what feels good. And then we'll turn the navel away. So you're feeling a side stretch again, probably, right? A little bit. Now you can intensify that if it feels good for you by bringing the hand up and the shoulder up, but not all shoulders like that. Some of us are comfortable here, but you could also just work here. So see what feels right in your body today. Yep. Sometimes I like to just rest my hand on the head or here with it's a little less intense. Think about being in a swimming pool. If you were moving water, you'd be moving more water than if you were to do this. And so it's a lever. It's how much against gravity we're doing. All right, and then we'll come up and out. Ooh. All right, let's do the other side. So this part of my body looks like it's in a mountain pose, right? This side is bent with the knees stacked over the heel. There it is. Navel drawing in, and we'll turn it away from the leg. So right away, you might feel a little bit of a stretch here. That was really good. Good. And then we'll reach. Turn away. And we might choose to add more. It's up to you. And I know that when I brought my arm up, I started collapsing. So I'm going to be mindful of keeping the heart open, and that will further stretch. Good. And out we come. So tightness here can affect our ability to right ourselves when we trip or whatever. And so we want to stay open and flexible, and we likewise want our outer hips to be able to stabilize us. So we're working those two areas today. That's kind of what we are aiming at. All right, so we're already back to our chair. We're going to find a comfortable seat, and today I'd like to encourage you to Take a pillow or whatever you've got at home. I've got a stack of blankets here. Maybe a pillow, maybe a couple blocks, because what I want to do is lift up my legs a little and then take them apart. And I'm just going to let my knees fall in towards one another. And I'm making space in the back of my sacrum when I do that. So let me just give you an example. Here's your sacrum. These are your sacroiliac joints. When we turn the leg out, the femur turns and pushes pressure on this SI joint here. And when we turn the leg in, it makes some space there. So that's what we're doing. We're just counterposing the external rotation we were doing. So I'm strongly turning the thigh bones in, maybe letting my knees rest against one against the other. And then wherever your hands want to be. And yeah, take just a moment in this funny little shape. To counter pose. And if this is comfortable, you can keep your legs here. If you prefer to even them out, that's fine too. But we're going to do our little break, a little bit of Shavasana to let the nervous system quiet and to process. And having your feet up on something might help you be a little bit more aware of the feet on the earth. Imagine standing in some sand and pressing your feet into the sand to make a little footprint. And then feeling the weight of your body in that footprint. Likewise, feeling the hips on our chair, the bottom of the pelvis. Planting into the sand that the chair represents. Imagine that warmth of a warm sandy beach, emanating up through the sitting bones and up the pelvis, up through the back. Feel the crown of the head lifting to the warmth of the sun, the light. And you can hold completely still, or you could sway a little bit. Letting it be just a completely natural thing, nothing you have to think about or do. You ready? Once more, becoming aware of the soles of your feet on whatever surface they're resting on. Feel the texture and the weight of your feet on that texture. Allow yourself to feel anchored in your body, just as you're anchored on the earth. And when you're ready, we'll take a couple of deep breaths and eventually open your eyes if they were closed. And then let's bring the palms of the hand together. And we'll take the thumb and the pinkies together and pull the other fingers apart. So it looks like this. Yes. It's sort of like, imagine a lotus flower that's opened up. So we were planting ourselves. Imagine this is our flower here, just for a moment. Drinking in the light, pulling in energy from the earth. When you're ready, let the palms come together, the fingertips come together, and we'll bow. We'll bow to that light in each of us. Namaste.